If you didn't know me back when I lived out of my car and traveled around with my Christmas tree Batman, then this video is probably a little confusing for you. And I travel around the northeast part of the United States, and I live out of my car. Here's some background. I went to college at Virginia Tech, and when I was a freshman there, I joined a fraternity called SigEp. And SigEp is a huge reason as to why I am pursuing music now. Also, it's got hot and I got sweaty, so I'm wearing a hat. 3 years later, when I was a junior, I was offered a position to join SigEp as a staff member and actually work there, and it was my job to travel across the country and help other SigEp chapters be better. A lot of what you see on my Instagram page and a lot of where I come from music is rooted in this past year and all of the traveling that I did and the songwriting that I did while I was out on the road. Even though I'm not working the job anymore, I wanted to give you a tour of the car and show you a little bit how, gosh dang it, blah, blah. Even though I'm not working for them anymore, I wanted to give you a tour of the car that I lived out of so that you could have a sneak peek into what my life was like this past year while I was writing my very first songs and putting them out online. Let's start with the front of the car, shall we? Yes, all the memories are coming back already. This is my view for all of my long drives, 8-hour drives, 3-hour drives, you name it. Basically look back here and see all of my clothes back there, and in front of me, just the open road. Accompanying me in the front seat was usually my Christmas tree Batman. He's no longer here because he was stolen in New Jersey. There isn't much to note up here except for my favorite musical collection. I've got all of Taylor Swift's albums. A nice thing to listen to while out on the road. Next, the midsection here. This is where my wardrobe was. I had my suits, my shirts, my pants, anything that was nice, or ties, that I needed to keep was up here on this nice clothing rack. The floor consisted of my tissue stash, some hot sauce, and pretty much all the food that I traveled around with. As you can see, I ate pretty boring. I had a lot of green beans and tons of tuna. I would have the same thing for lunch almost every single day for the first 4 months through the fall and the winter, where I would take tuna and put some mayonnaise in it and then store the leftovers in this bag and eat it again the next. Eventually I got so sick of eating canned tuna every single day that I just started going to Wendy's every single day. Get a Baconator with no bun and a side salad for like 12 bucks. The back of the car, the most interesting part. My snow boots for those -1 degree days in Vermont. My space heater for yet more -1 degree days in Vermont.
The winter froze us with doubt.
Have my bag with all my books and SigEp gear to give to people. Let's see, got some cards in here to send out. Most of the time I was staying on couches, so I've got my blanket and pillow here, but underneath here I also have my sleeping bag and a couple of other sleeping items so that I could sleep on couches and not wake up in the middle of the night. Ooh, and of course the laundry detergent for washing my clothes, and the trusty snow scraper for those times in Massachusetts when my car is covered with ice and then gets towed. All of the clothes that I don't keep on the rack I kept in this handy dandy clothesbin thing. Got all my many ties, lots of ties, socks, got my hats and shirts, anything that was more casual I'd keep in here. For fun, before it got freezing cold, I would go out to disc golf courses with my 2 trusty discs and play a bunch of rounds by myself. A few other things to note that I've got in here. I traveled around with this LaCroix can that my girlfriend gave me for our 5 months of dating, which was a long time ago, but sadly, I told myself I would never drink it so that I could just have it as a nice little thing. But when I was in Vermont and got freezing, it just exploded, and I never got to drink it, and it exploded all over the car. Well, I've been living back at home for 2 months now, but I have not unpacked my car yet because I wanted to give you a little bit of a tour, and I've been putting off giving the tour for that same amount of time. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight and answered some of your questions you may have had when looking through my Instagram feed and seeing all of the talk of me saying that I am living out of my car. I'm only here for a couple more months before I move up to DC, but I wanted to make sure that my car was unpacked before I did that. So